Good morning. It's a beautiful day today, lovely and warm, nice and bright, nice and sunny, and we're off for a walk. I have an update on the aftercare of Andy from his prostate cancer, so I'll fill you in on that in a little while. Okay, so just while the dogs are having a little play around, so as you all know, if you've watched any of my previous vlogs, Andy has had prostate cancer, who's my husband. So around about 59, he was diagnosed with a high prostate level. Um, it was just regular PSA tests, blah blah blah, and he was put on a course of antibiotics because they thought it was a bacterial infection. He finally, sometime later, went to see a different doctor who sent him for um, a scan. They said his prostate was slightly enlarged. They referred him to a specialist. And I'm talking sort of like some time on. Anyway, by the time he finally got to see the specialist, his PSA had raised quite a lot, and they sent him for a biopsy. The biopsy come back to say he had low grade cancer, but he would just be on a watch and observe um, level. They didn't need to do anything about it. They said that he had 10 years before they probably need to do anything, but he had to have regular blood tests. So he had to start off with a 3 monthly blood test, and then another 3 monthly blood test, and then it'd probably be a 6 monthly blood test from there onwards, depending on what happened. Anyway, 3 months later, he had his blood test done, and his PSA had risen to a level where they weren't happy. So they wanted him to have another biopsy. So after 4 months, he'd had two biopsies. The second biopsy wasn't good news. The prostate now had a considerable, um, it was more of a concerning cancer in his prostate. So they wanted to remove it. It was like either keep and just wait and see, or remove it. But if you keep it, you stand that chance of it popping outside the prostate. So we went with remove it. And they said that would take 6 months for that operation to happen. Um, and he'd get a phone call from the hospital and to discuss what was going to happen, like the pre appointment. 4 weeks after that, he went for the appointment, um, and six days after that appointment, he was in hospital and had that prostate removed. Some of that was luck on our side, as where the hospital weren't busy um, for prostatectomies. So that was good. And also, they could see how absolutely mentally affected he was, and they knew that it was better for his mental health to get it removed quickly. So they were absolutely fantastic. So he had that removed. The catheter stays in between 2 and 3 weeks because they had problems attaching the bladder to the urethra. It was a difficult join. Um, they had to keep the catheter in for 3 weeks. We went down for a CT scan, and it showed that the join hadn't completely joined. There was still a slight hole. It was only just over a millimetre to a millimetre and a half, but they weren't happy to take the catheter out at that point, so they kept it in for another 2 weeks. So that's 5 weeks he had that catheter in. He was very uncomfortable the entire time. He always felt a lot of pressure. He couldn't sit up. If he did sit, it would only be for 5-10 minutes, and then he'd have to lay back down again. So life was a little bit, well, very stressful and very uncomfortable and unpleasant for him. We went down yesterday, so that's 5 weeks the catheter was in, had another CT scan, and it showed that he still had a slight hole, but because the hole was smaller than before, they were happy to take the catheter out. So the catheter come out, and obviously you're incontinent after this happens. We are well prepared. We've bought so many incontinence pants. So he obviously had one on the way home. He got out. He was quite happy to get out to go into the doctors to pay a bill that we had. He got out and he could feel that he had no control, but he persevered. He still went up into the doctors to pay this bill. By the time he'd got back to the car, he was quite like, "Oh, this feels horrible." He'd, obviously had a bit of a pee. We got home. He got changed, and from that point forward, he was really good. He timed himself to go for regular toilet breaks, and he didn't have any leakage during the night whatsoever. None. He was completely dry, and so far, he's been great all morning. So fingers crossed, this is going to heal, or he's going to have his bladder control back sooner than we thought. Well, a lot sooner than we thought. We thought it'd at least be incontinent for a week, if not two. I'm not saying that if he sneezed, he wouldn't have an accident, or if he coughed, he wouldn't have an accident. But he's controlling it really well. That muscle, that pelvic floor muscle, obviously he started using that yesterday. It's remembered what it's for. So it's such good news. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and he obviously feels so much better. We're not out of the woods, but it's fantastic news. So another blood test in 3 months, and hopefully that prostate, that PSA level hasn't risen. So let's hope it's all good news. Wow, look at this, guys. I have never seen this before. I've no idea what it is, but I will let you know. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And look at this. I've never seen this before either. Isn't that beautiful? It's only 3 little flowers, and it's on a very weedy looking bush. That is stunning. So you remember the hole in my tree stump there that I've played in before. Look, absolutely cool. But look, what is that? Its front door. A cowslip orchid. So that's the second bunch I've seen since I've been walking this morning. Oh, I feel so honoured. These are lucky orchids. I love them. Okay, so we're back now. Hope you enjoyed that walk and an update on Andy's prostate cancer and his progress. So until next time, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Love you all. Bye.